What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about Ares. Ares is finally becoming available for free-to-play players, so it's going to be important to see if this is a character that is important for your roster, or if this is something that is just not worth your stats. We're going to talk about the two phases of Ares, why Ares might be very good for certain people, while at the same time he might be completely useless for other people. And overall, the disappointment, I'm going to be honest right away, the disappointment that I feel with this character. Also, the inconvenient release method and the trickery that Scopely has done using Ares as an excuse to give less shards away for free-to-play players for different characters that they normally release, like Hank Pym and Shuri. So we're going to break down all that information, and as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure to share it to your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure to smash that like button like a real boss, not like Ares, because it kind of sucks. Anyway, so Scopely used Ares, and they're probably going to use similar characters in the future, characters with individual value to be released through the Battle Pass, because Scopely noticed something. Because they were releasing the new characters on both the Battle Pass and on the Strike Pass, it got to a point where people got to the 6 stars, and after they would no longer buy the Battle Pass and the Strike Pass. So they decided, oh no, we're going to put this Ares just on the Battle Pass, so we have enough characters, and after we don't have to repeat them on the Battle Passes and Strike Passes. So this would force everyone to always buy the Battle Pass and the Strike Pass, and like this you could not skip the Battle Pass. This might not be the case in the future, because at some point some people will have Ares fully maxed out, and then they still have an excuse to don't buy the Battle Passes. But this was definitely a trap that Scopely set for us, because there were definitely a lot of people that as soon as they get the characters with 6 stars, they would stop buying the passes. Moving on, so Ares is a character that is designed for war, Alliance wars. It can be used on offense, it can be used on defense, and that's pretty much it. Most of his utility is in war. Ares is the first character with the new MSF stats 3.0, and this is supposed to be very impactful, but it's actually not the case. And this is because we have a limited amount of stars for him, and Scopely, they don't really understand their game very well, because when they have mechanics like defense up and offense down that give you a 50% flat damage reduction and a 50% flat less offense or less attack reduction as well, that means that the impact of these new stats is just not going to be that great. This is exactly what happened in the past with the diamonds. When they released the diamonds for the first time, having 3 diamonds would give only 30 or 35% stats to the characters, and compared to a 7 stars, it was just not enough. That's why they increased it from 30 or something stats, 30% to 50%. And even so, some people say it's not still a huge difference. The only difference is when you are facing a new character at 3 stars versus a character with diamonds, right? So Scopely once again made the same mistake with these new MSF stats, because they are just not impactful enough. And some of these new characters, they have some mechanics to bypass defense up, but if you still get offense down on them, it's just not good enough. So overall, in terms of the stats and how the stats perform for this character, is not very good. And that's why I didn't even consider Crimson Gear for him, because it's kind of a waste. So this is something that you can already expect, is that this guy is not going to be very good with Crimson Gear. Now, Ares is a two-faced character. He's very good, or he's not like top tier, but he's very high on a tier list if you have the Awaken abilities for him. The only Awaken ability that they made available is the basic, and we have a limited amount of time to get the basic. So we have this campaign going on for additional 2 months, but I think you need to have him at 4 stars in order for you to participate on this. So it's still gonna take quite a while, because you have to complete this one right here, this challenge, 4 yellow stars and gear tier 14. So if free-to-play players are going to finally unlock him now, that means they need a minimum of another month or 2, probably 2 months in order to unlock this. So it's going to be very close to get that Awaken ability for the basic. But guess what? The Awaken ability for the basic is the one that is the least relevant. The passive is an absolute must-have, as it makes him very powerful, as he prevents the enemies from getting safeguarded, and this is going to be really massive. I have seen Ares working with this ability, and it's really impactful. And the other abilities are also very impactful. So for example, ability block for 2 turns to multiple targets and flip the 3 negative effects. This is going to be very important. We'll talk about that in a second. And then we have the special that clears barrier, so it's like it counts as damage, right? Because barrier counts for 30% of the health of the enemies, so it's like you're doing 30% damage plus additional damage. And it also applies trauma in Alliance Wars. This is the thing that we have to remember about this guy, is that he's going to be mostly useful in Alliance Wars. So if you are a free-to-play player, if you are in one alliance that does not care about war or just plays war casually, this is definitely not a character for you. Once again, there are a few things that you can do with him, but it's just for minor situations. You can use him with A-Force or Gamma or whatever, like you can use him definitely on specific situations against like Black Knight or something like that. But it's not going to be like game-breaking by any means. Speaking of Black Knight, so as you guys can see, Ares has a shield, right? He has a shield, but he actually has no block chance. He has block amount, which every character has, but block chance he doesn't have, even with a shield, right? This is something that is actually terrible design, because when you take a look at the abilities from the passive, Ares on spawn is going to gain safeguard and is going to copy all the positive effects from the enemies, including taunt. Yes, that's it, including taunt. Because you have him at a low amount of yellow stars, maybe the amount of red stars is actually low as well. And because the MSF stats 3.0 are not as impactful as Copley thought they were, and because he has no block chance, what usually happens in Alliance Wars is that this guy gets obliterated right away as soon as he joins the match. Once again, if you are facing any character that is like Black Knight or with a taunt or Hulk, anything like that, this guy is going to get taunted and right away is going to get destroyed. Now, sometimes you can use this to your advantage against the AI, so if you're using him on offense versus using him on defense, you can manipulate the situation to your advantage, but most of the times it's going to be inconvenient, especially if you are doing some big punch up. It just dies right away, and it's so annoying, like it's very annoying that it dies right away. Now, in terms of the other abilities, the passive ability, if you get multiple battle passes, I'm not sure if it's like 8 or 10 battle passes, you can get the Awaken ability for free. I think it's gonna take me another 2 additional months, 3 additional months maybe. It's gonna take a total, I think it's a total of 4 months in order to unlock these. And until you have this Awaken passive, this guy is really just mid. He's very mid. And in terms of the other Awaken abilities, like the ultimate is very strong because you can use this on turn 1, but we have 0 information on how to get these Awaken abilities. Wait a second, I actually have a way of getting these Awaken abilities. So if you go to the web store, it's actually quite funny. We go to the web store and you can see the Awaken abilities for Ares being sold right here. So early access, God of War, and this is for the passive. Now the funny part is that if you buy this Awaken ability, which once again you're gonna get for free, if you buy the passive ability, then you'll have the opportunity of buying the ultimate ability as well. A few people in my alliance were able to buy the ultimate ability, but once again, only if you already have the passive unlocked. So this is a major scam, and this also reflects another situation that we have going on right now in Marvel Strike Force, is that we have multiple characters with Awaken Abilities, and we have no idea how we're going to obtain these Awaken Abilities, right? Because in the past, we had like these 3 legendaries, Green Goblin, Black Cat, and Nova, that had their Awaken Abilities in the raid store, but for a very long time, this is not updated, and we have no additional information on what the hell is going on. So this is just to set your expectations. Sure, yeah, Ares can do some funny stuff in Alliance Wars only if you don't have his Awaken Abilities, and outside of Alliance Wars, without Awaken Abilities, is going to be super mid. And this is because he cannot copy the positive effects outside of war, so enemies with speed up or additional speed bar, they are going to absolutely destroy this guy. And this all comes down from the lack of yellow stars, not having any kind of block chance, even that he has a shield. So overall, really set your expectations quite low for this guy if you are a free-to-play player. And I'm not really sure. If you're, once again, if you're in a casual alliance, this guy is not going to be very good. If you're going to think about taking this guy to Dark Dimension, if you don't have his Awaken Abilities, is not going to be very good. So keep this in mind. If you don't have the Awaken Abilities, it's not the same character. That's why I say he's a two-faced character, because he's absolutely not the same character with Awaken Abilities. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think about Ares. Do you find it ridiculous that he has a shield and he has no block chance? Were you thinking about taking him to Dark Dimension? And do you see any utility for him in other game modes apart from Alliance Wars when his speed is so slow? Let me know all of that in the comments below, and as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.